My name is Eric Diaz, and I'm a marketing strategist for ecom and high-ticket coaching businesses. Life before working with Victor was very unstable, very emotional based. I really felt like my emotions had control of my life, and made decisions for me rather than making decisions on a clear head, right? And after working with Victor, dealing with that biggest thing, dealing with the emotional debt, releasing all that negative emotional trauma that I had in my past, has allowed me to bring a new perspective into current situations, and also has allowed me to actually learn how to effectively bring my emotion down to zero and make decisions based on a clear state of mind without the emotion, right? And what that has done for me, it has allowed me in the last 8 to 9 months that I've been working with Victor, it has allowed me to attract new opportunities, be less reactive to situations that I used to be, right? For example, like, back in the past, I used to be really, if something that did not comfort me or something that was uncomfortable to me, I would react in a negative, frustrated way, when in reality, you can't control everything that happens in your universe. So learning to really allow that to go, and my emotions to go down to zero, has allowed me to make precise decisions, which has exponentially helped me to, one, grow my income and really become present to who I really am. And overall, just brought a lot of happiness to me as a person. Some of the most important results I got from working with Victor, I stopped smoking, right? I've been a heavy smoker since 18, I want to say before that, 17 years old. I've been a really heavy smoker, and I had my ups and downs where I've stopped for a couple months and went back into it. So one of the biggest things was stop smoking. One of the biggest results too was reactivity completely disappeared, in terms of feeling those emotions and reacting to things that I didn't generally align with who I am. Another big transformation that I had in myself is building the habituals, right? Like, I've never thought myself of being a reader or meditating, but now that I've actually gone through the process and I've gone through the actual action steps, I've realized that meditating and reading can really help calm down and open new perspectives that would allow me to go through life in a better, healthier, and more successful manner. And I think that's one of the biggest things. So working with Victor has really also benefited my communication and relationships with others, in a sense where, like, in a human mindset, in a human default, we always assume, right? Assuming it literally, like, it's your worst enemy, because you're literally assuming something that may not be true, and you're putting all this negative energy, all these negative thoughts and energy into these things that are not even factual. So that that has gone a long way, because it has allowed me, one, not only to build stronger relationships with my clients, my colleagues at work, but also my personal relationship, and being able to really be there for the person and the people, and communicate in a way that's effective, gets the point across, but in a manner where we're communicating back and forth and really trying to find a solution for things, and finding even ground, rather than it going one way or the other, right? So communication skills is really one of those things where I struggled in the past before, and I know I keep saying this, but I'm feeling the emotions down to zero has really given me the clarity on how to communicate with certain folks. And then one of the things that also helped me communicate with folks is going over the Ho'oponopono exercise, where you really sit down and look at the goods of the person, and being grateful for the people that you're communicating with, and taking that as the lead indicator, than rather what you're taking from your subconscious mind, which is mostly negative, and it's something that, if you don't learn how to control It's something that will control your whole life for you and lead you to the path you don't want to go to. Liberation session with Victor was on my. It was really intriguing for me, right? Because I never knew coming into it. I try to figure out by myself, like, what would be my traumas, like what would be some things that are holding me back and not having that visibility. So you start kind of like preempting, like you start thinking about those things. But actually going through the liberation session and being guided by Victor, a lot of those traumas and a lot of those things that I've been holding on to inside of me have majorly come from specific one specific situation and an event in my life back from when I was like 5 years old, which is something that I would have never thought about or even thought it was a problem, since I'm already 20. It's been 23 years later, right? So being able to go back that and look at those situations in a different perspective and being able to release that energy and that things that have been bottled up within you after all these years has literally has been liberating. After that session, if I could say, I've been a completely brand new man in terms of how I view things and how I act upon the things that are really aligned with my purpose, rather than doing things because I'm being guided by my emotions based on my trauma that I haven't been able to release before the liberation session. So I think that's being able to, literally, the name of the liberation, like you're liberating yourself from all your past traumas and bringing light to them and forgiving the situations, forgiving the people, giving that forgiveness has been able to allow me to open my heart and also just give more love and view things from a different lens than just a traumatized lens, if that makes sense. If someone was on the fence to work with Victor, I would definitely recommend them to start now. One of my biggest objections was, like some people would say, I don't have that type of money or whatever the case is. But at the end of the day, you can't make more money if your mindset isn't in the right stage. Like, these are things that you have to take care of, right? Like, I was huge into going to the gym, into personal development, and really trying to make myself better. But at the end of the day, if you don't have even the biggest athletes, Michael Jordan, Kobe, all those Olympians, everybody has a coach next to them that has allowed them to have that mindset to go to the next level and keep crushing it at the next level. And if you don't have somebody on your court that's helping you go through the flows of life, then you're at the end of the day, you're not gonna go nowhere. You need somebody there guiding you, and that alone is priceless. If that's what's holding you back, you definitely have to look back and really determine if your success is more important to you. Because if that's the most important thing, then this is a necessary step you need to take. I'm glad I did. Definitely one of those turning points in my life where I see the level of transformation in the last year that I've seen in the last 5 years trying to do it all by myself.